Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of the Ethos Lakers podcast. And as you can visually see, this is a video episode, the first of its kind for this show. It's something I hope to do from now on. I don't think every episode will be a video episode. When we've got video highlights that we can go over, like last night, or lowlights, if you will, as you can see, the Lakers lost to the Houston Rockets last night in Houston in a very unfortunate blowout. And we'll talk a little bit more about the ramifications of that loss here in a little bit. But I am JC DeLeon. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at JCDeLeon1. You can follow the show on those same platforms at Ethos Lakers. Ethan will be on audio episodes. More than likely, I'm sure he'll be on some video episodes every now and then, but he'll mostly be on the audio component of the show. What we're going to do in this episode is we're going to take a look at some of the highlights of this Houston Rockets match. We'll take a look at what didn't work, what did work, what the Lakers can focus on in the future, and things like that. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So first off, for the Houston Rockets, Jalen Green had himself a hell of a game. Finished with 34 points. The night was just about as easy as that layup was for him. Pretty unabated to the basket there. The lane was wide open for him. He shot 12 for 23. He also grabbed 12 rebounds, had 7 assists. Similar to those numbers, Alperen Şengün. Alperen Şengün is one of the up and coming players in the league, a European talent. All those guys from Europe seem to have all around games. They seem to be able to all rebound and pass and shoot and score. He is no different. Now, against Anthony Davis, he seems to excel pretty well. Now, he's not as big as Anthony Davis. He's not as skilled a shooter as Anthony Davis. And I say that knowing Anthony Davis is one of the worst three-point shooters in the league. But Alperen Şengün doesn't do a lot of deep shooting, but he does grab a ton of rebounds and he does get some assists and he does tend to score a lot. In his last 4 matchups versus Anthony Davis, he's scored 18, 23, 21, and then last night, 31. And similar to Jalen Green, he also had 12 rebounds and 7 assists. Also shot 23 field goals. So the Lakers had a pretty hard time stopping the both of them. And pretty much all season, they've had a hard time, stopping the other team's best player. And defensively, this team is in a rut, and most of these highlights definitely show that. But there's one highlight here with Anthony Davis taking it to Alperen Şengün. He finished the game with 23 points. Didn't grab very many rebounds, but that's because Alperen was grabbing a ton of rebounds himself. Jalen Green here with another easy basket. One thing that's been apparent throughout the trade drama around D'Angelo Russell. Is he going to be traded? Is he not going to be traded? Is Austin Reeves going to be traded? One of the things that's nice about Austin Reeves plays really well with LeBron James. I don't think he should be traded because I think that's a huge asset loss for the Lakers and somebody that has really great chemistry with LeBron. But Austin also has really great chemistry with D'Angelo Russell. And I don't know that creating a new backcourt simply for the sake of panicking and overcorrecting, because here you see D'Angelo Russell run a nice action for Austin Reeves, and Austin Reeves ends up wide open for a 3. He's going to go ahead and sink this 3. Austin and D'Lo play really well together. Alperen's going to miss this rebound, and LeBron James is going to lead a fast break. When this team rebounds, when this team doesn't give up offensive rebounds and they grab a rebound and just go, this team is unstoppable because LeBron James can still do that. He still has that in his game. And here, D'Angelo Russell's going to hit a nice 3. One of his 3, he shot 12 of them, didn't make all of them. A little bit of an unfortunate shooting night for D'Angelo Russell. Turnovers continue to be a big problem for this Lakers team. And not just turnovers, but not getting back on defense. There, Anthony Davis actually gets back on defense, gets a nice block. But as has been plaguing this team all season, even though Anthony Davis gets the block, they give up the offensive rebound, and second chance points killed the Lakers tonight. This is going to be one of the most unfortunate things about tonight. Huge night from Cam Whitmore. He's about to hit a 3 on this play here. It wasn't going to be the only time. He goes on to score 12 consecutive points in the first quarter. Cam Whitmore just had a great game. And Darvin Ham even said he's a bright young superstar. Here he's going to hustle for the dunk. outruns the entire defense because he's one of the youngest players on the floor. Lakers could have had him. They could have had him. They drafted Jalen Hood-Schifino. It is what it is. Cam Whitmore finished the game with 20 points, most of those being in that first quarter when he just out hustled the entire team, like he's about to do here to end the quarter. The way the Lakers ended this quarter, completely frustrating. And Cam Whitmore just burning them time after time after time. Finished with 20 points, 6 rebounds, didn't get any assists, shot 2 for 6 from three. But this right here, this type of lazy effort is inexcusable. How Cam Whitmore just does this to the Lakers team, and that was the point where I kind of knew that the Lakers weren't going to have it tonight. They're down 11 at that point. I knew they weren't coming back. It was just an unfortunate watch from there, and things kind of fell apart for the Lakers from there. Dylan Brooks started to go off. Dylan Brooks finished the night with 17 points. Here's one of the nicer plays. LeBron actually breaks up an alley oop attempt. It leads to a fast break opportunity for this Lakers team. Again, when they defend, when they get rebounds, when they get steals, this team can be unstoppable. This is a good roster that needs to be unlocked. And Darvin Ham, I just don't think is the guy to unlock it. More pick and rolls with LeBron and Anthony Davis. That's definitely recommended. There weren't enough of that tonight. Anthony Davis, they went with the regular offense of letting Anthony Davis post up right there, and that works to a certain extent. Anthony Davis actually makes a three for once. Again, Anthony Davis with that underrated passing skill. And just the way the Lakers ended this quarter and ended both halves is just unfortunate. Giving up buzzer beaters, and I mean, you can attribute that kind of play to luck, and it just wasn't the Lakers' night. But that type of play sinks a team's effort, and from there it was just you got Alperen dunking on LeBron. You need more of this. You need more of creating open shots for the good 3 pointers. And this is a pretty simple play, and it's a bad mistake on defense for this Houston Rocket, but it leads to a D'Angelo Russell three, and that's what you need. You need sensible, good offense, and things like this for the Lakers to succeed. But again, pick and roll defense. Let's as great a defense player as Anthony Davis is, for some reason this team just can't defend the 3 point line, and they give up pick and rolls way too easily. Like this is just Anthony Davis is out of position. Austin Reeves isn't there to help. He's late on the help, and there Alperen Şengün just gets an easy layup. Here's where you start to see the Lakers just defense be abysmal. You got 3 Lakers back. It's a 3-on-3, so it's not exactly outnumbered, but like what is Austin Reeves going to do there in that position? D'Angelo Russell's in no position to rebound or defend. And this is where the second half of this YouTube video basically ends up being all Rockets highlights. It's very unfortunate. Again, Austin and D'Lo, great chemistry. Need to see more of that. And that's decent defense. It's just good offense, and that's going to happen sometimes, but it shouldn't happen so many times that it leads to a blowout every night. And it seems like the Lakers just get blown out every night. And the simple things that they do on offense, like that Austin or Anthony Davis mid range, you'd like to have more of that. Here you got Anthony Davis going for another three, but too little, too late at this point. They're down 24. I love Max Christie. One of the great things about Max Christie that you'll see, and we'll try to highlight this more in video form. Every time Max Christie takes it to the basket, he is always trying to dunk the ball. If there's somebody in the way, and he doesn't jump as high as John Morant, but he thinks he does, and he tries to dunk everything he can. But again, Lakers terrible at defending the 3 point line. Good, sensible offense creates an open three. Need more of that. LeBron can do that. And this is the sort of thing that LeBron can do in the playoffs. It's just you got to have the record to get there, and you can't rely on being a play-in team all the time. More pick and rolls. Nice pick and roll with Jackson Hayes there. Offensive rebounds, man. Killing this team. Alperen Şengün's great at that. It would have been an easy bet if you were a betting man to just take Alperen Şengün either points and rebounds. I actually took him as rebounds and assists tonight, and he killed that number. His number was 14 and a half, I think. Relying on LeBron James being a three-point shooter is never going to be a recipe for success. Now, that time they got the offensive rebound, but it's not what you want to rely on LeBron James for. Again, terrible defending of the three-point line. Dylan Brooks is just he's been hot this season, so he's definitely not somebody that you want to leave the three-point line. Nice little game for Jackson Hayes tonight. Jackson Hayes was kind of one of the rare highlights. He finished the night with 9 points in 13 minutes. Made all four of his baskets. Got 2 rebounds. Got a steal. Got a block. Nice. Kind of garbage time. Sort of garbage time. Not really garbage time minutes for Jackson Hayes, but it's nice to see him, put forth that effort. Now LeBron is shooting threes better this year, as you saw just there, right there. But again, at this point, they're down 10. There's 2 minutes left. It's not happening for the Lakers, and the attempt at a comeback was admirable, but it's just the effort wasn't there for 85% of the game. And again, Jackson Hayes had himself a nice little night. There's potential with him. He needs to get the minutes, but Darvin Ham, for whatever reason, he likes his guards. He likes his guards, and he doesn't really like centers. He doesn't play a lot of twin tower lineups, which I think would be beneficial for this team. He just doesn't do it. It's unfortunate. And so that loss puts the Lakers at 24 and 24 at ninth in the East. So they're still in the play-in. It's not the end of the world. They have the same record as the Utah Jazz. The Rockets are 22 and 24. The Golden State Warriors, despite Draymond being back, the Golden State Warriors don't seem to be getting any better, and Chris Paul is out for a couple of weeks with a broken hand. Memphis, you can pretty much write off for the rest of the season. John Morant is out with that shoulder. They have so many injuries on that Memphis Grizzlies team. They're now getting hardship 10-day contracts, so they're pretty much cooked for the season. The Portland Trailblazers at 14 and 33. They're not much. You don't have to worry about them. So the good news for the Lakers is that they literally can only go up from here because they're better than the Jazz. They should be better than the Rockets, and they are better than the Rockets. Last night didn't prove that. They're definitely better than the Rockets. They're better than the Warriors. Better Memphis, better in Portland, better than the Spurs. So ahead of them, you got New Orleans, you got Dallas. Dallas, I think, is Dallas at a 7th seed at 26 and 21. It would seem like they're underachieving, and maybe they are a bit. But I mean, the West is tough, and like Ethan and I have talked about this season, how there's no time to mess around. And that's unfortunately what the Lakers have been doing. Darvin Ham has been experimenting with too many different lineups. He seems resistant to the lineups that analytically have proven that they're the best. The best lineup being Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Jared Vanderbilt, Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell. I think for the season, they're plus 30. They average plus 30 or something like that in the minutes that they've played together per game, which is crazy. And the Pelicans are also kind of underachieving. You'd think with a healthy Zion, they'd be playing a little bit better. Brandon Ingram came into this season with some muscle. I don't know why the Pelicans aren't a little bit better. Phoenix is starting to ascend. They have won 4 or 5 games in a row, I think, and they're starting to figure it out. Sacramento was beneath the Lakers at one point, and they've been winning more and more. The Clippers are starting to figure it out. Oklahoma City is way ahead of schedule. They've got tons of draft picks. They can make big moves at the trading deadline. If Utah is going to go into a rebuild, and they're thinking maybe they don't want to rebuild around Lauri Markkanen. If Lauri Markkanen's available, I listen. When it comes to this Lakers roster and whether or not D'Angelo Russell should be traded, I personally don't think he should. Simply because of what's out there. What's out there is DeJounte Murray or possibly Zach LaVine. Those have been the rumors all season. Now, you know what I say about trade rumors and smoke and all that stuff. I don't put a lot of stock into it. But if Lauri Markkanen were available. Now again, Darvin Ham doesn't like to play twin tower lineups, but if you had Lauri Markkanen next to Anthony Davis, this team would be unstoppable. You know, a package of Lauri Markkanen and Colin Sexton, would that be worth D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves? Honestly, I'd be sad about Austin Reeves leaving, but Colin Sexton is a dog defensively. He's a great defensive player, and I think he's somebody who would get along with LeBron really well. And he's been an improved scorer as of late. Lauri Markkanen is low key unstoppable this season. He's a definite all-star. He should be an all-star this year. I don't know if a trade like that is in the works because I don't know if the Lakers really have all of the assets. They've got D'Lo, they've got Austin, they've got the first-round pick. They can package like Taurean Prince or maybe Jared Vanderbilt back into there, but ultimately, I don't know if the Lakers really have what it's going to take to be able to make a trade, and whether or not it happens. I mean, the Lakers need to do something. They're firmly planted in the play-in, and they're currently roughly 3.5 to 4 games back of the 6th seed, which I've been saying all along. Your goal should be a 6th seed or higher because the 6th seed gets you out of the play-in, gets you a definite, you're in the playoffs. You don't have to fight through that play-in or anything like that. I think it's beneficial to be a 6th seed or higher. It's kind of a weird goal to play for a 6th seed or higher, but it makes sense, especially LeBron at his age, the way he steps it up into the playoffs. Don't know if that's available for them or not, but yeah, this was a bad loss for the Lakers. They play the Atlanta Hawks tonight. Anthony Davis is out. Look for Austin Reeves to have a bigger impact with Anthony Davis out. Look for Christian Wood to play some minutes. Look for Jackson Hayes to play some minutes and build off of that nice 9-point night he had versus the Rockets. But yeah, and it's going to be an interesting game because it's Atlanta and DeJounte Murray and Trae Young and all that stuff. So should be a good, fun game. Hopefully the Lakers come out with a win. Atlanta is currently 11th in the East at 19-27. They're definitely in a spot where, I mean, Trae Young could possibly be available, but with what this Lakers team needs and how they need to succeed, I don't know if I really don't know if if Trae Young and his defensive inadequacies are what this Lakers team needs. They need his shooting, they need his passing, but they need somebody who plays defense as well. Personally, I would try to do whatever I can to get Alex Caruso back. I would try to do whatever I can to get to Colin Sexton. And maybe if you need a backup center, because for whatever reason, Darvin Ham just doesn't... I don't know if he doesn't like Christian Wood. He'll go through stretches where he just doesn't play. And it's weird because when he does play, he plays really well. And I've liked Christian Wood's effort all season. But if you're going to go for another backup center, you'd probably have to get rid of Hayes, keep Christian Wood, and I would find another backup center, not Andre Drummond, because he's been down that road. But enjoy the game tonight. Enjoy this visual episode of the Ethos Lakers podcast. Until next time, I'll probably be back tomorrow to do a recap of this Atlanta Hawks game. But until next time, we are out.